first of all, I think half of the business that is being done with kids and their parents with coaches, like you don't even like the person you're trying to get into business with. Right? So you're just going there for the brand. Everyone thinks they can do something for a player, but they don't realize it starts with the player wanting to do something for themselves. The people they hired, because I look at basketball like life itself, it all kind of matched everything. And then you think about Wallow and Gilly. They talk about that all the time. Right?
Yeah.
And you hear Rich talking about that.
Yeah.
And I feel that way. So it just felt like everyone was on the same page.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let go. Hey, okay, I know I'm here to stay. Counting on my wins, so I can't play it safe. Trying to go against us, get you out the way. Go hard, it's the only way to play. Let me say, I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Who can do it better? I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Hey, look.
Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of Sportsing. We have someone extremely exciting here for you. I've known him, I believe Isaiah and Carter were some of his first trainers or training kids that he had when he came to LA. Dash has had them for over a decade, which is wild. But he's not just a coach. He's a master teacher. He's a ball handling aficionado.
Hey.
He's a life coach to the next generation of hoopers, and we're very proud to present him to here with y'all on an episode of Sportsing. I'm your girl, Gloria Govan.
I'm Erica Lynn O'Keefe, and let's get into
Yeah, we're about to do this.
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
Sunshine. No, this is Dash, everybody. My bad. All of that title and those things, and I didn't even mention the man's name. My bad, everybody.
Yes.
This is Dash. We call him Dash. If you have not seen him at a gym or training, then your kid isn't a real hooper.
Yeah, he's tough, he's raw, he's authentic. You know, them East Coast roots, y'all, they gonna give it to you. They're gonna give you the dirty. But he's had magnificent success with all of the people that he's touched, and so we're happy to have you here.
Thank
Yes.
you. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks,
How are
bro.
you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm just in smiles because, I've known G for a long time.
Long time, guys.
Seen you around for a long time. And I've seen the show. I've been on IG.
Thank you for
And I was like,
Thanks.
I hope I get my call soon.
Yo, first of all, I've been harassing this man for so long. Even today, especially me and Karina, we're like, where are you? Where are you at? What you doing? Come on, ETA, be here.
Yeah.
I was so excited and grateful because he just landed from Boston. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Man, that's why if you see, I look kind of like, the flight, East Coast back and forth.
It's terrible.
tough.
It's tough. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
definitely
Brutal.
tough.
That
Especially
shit is
like
wild.
we was there for like a whole week.
Okay.
Oh,
you know?
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Are you able to talk about what you were there doing?
yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about
Yeah, I was like,
Um,
break it down.
Yeah, it was New Balance, their first like top 100 camp
it. Nice.
per se. All the top girls and guys. Obviously, we weren't able to grab a lot of people right at once, but we had a pretty good amount of the kids in the top 100 and
Okay.
the
And
girls in
talent.
top 100. And the unique thing was they kind of mixed it up. I don't know if everyone does that because this is my first time in a space with all like the top kids. I've worked with them before, but
Yeah.
just in one space under a company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They mixed it up. They had like kids that were top kids, like 9th grade, 10th grade. So
Okay.
they just all the best kids at their position and in their year as well.
Okay.
They even had a girl that was 8th grade.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
she
she
was
must
like
have
the
been
number 1
special.
Yeah.
Hell
in
yeah,
her
okay.
class, so it was
Yeah.
good to see like players kind of hold their own against
Mhm.
kids that are older and
Yeah.
and just compete. And I think that it was a great experience. And it's funny because it's called Beantown Experience. It was definitely an experience, just like seeing all the guys that came to speak, all the women that came to speak, all the information kids
Yeah.
were getting, a lot of things that they touched on with players, helping them understand NIL and not branding, but more of like partnership.
Okay.
Because so
Mhm.
many times I had to learn. Well, I felt like I've always been this way, but just hearing it out of someone's mouth made it a little bit more. That makes sense.
Right,
Like,
right. Yeah.
So just like hearing them talk about like it's a partnership, right? Because so many times with branding and getting a brand deal, people just players sometimes they're just looking for the company to give them something.
Sure.
But in order for the brand to work and the things to work, you have to hold your end of it, right? So as a player, it's like I have to go out there and be great. I have to go out there and put up these numbers. I have to go out there and be like noticeable to the world in order for this partnership to work, right? Because so many times I think players forget that because they always look at agents and companies like, what are you going to do for me? It's like, what are you going to do for yourself?
Hello.
You know what I mean? So I think just hearing them talk on that and touch on that and just letting players know, like, this is a two-way thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you keep asking for deals, but you keep averaging 2.
You're right. Hello.
Right? It's just like, bro, like, step your game up. And I think, you know, people will be able to step their game up for you. So just hearing them touch on things like that and just understanding the authentic side of having a real relationship, because, you know, a lot of guys don't want to hear the truth, but just they were giving players the truth, right?
At this particular
this event. I feel like that's the first time I've been around a lot of people speaking, but I've never heard it as raw and as simple. It was super simplified to the point where a child could understand it, right? That's how I always love teaching. I love to teach it to where you can make someone that knows nothing about the space get it.
Understand.
Yeah. So it was very simple. You know, just do your part. We'll do our part.
Yeah.
Because I think people get confused on what, like, that's why the word partnership sounds better to me than getting a brand deal, because now it's like, oh, I have to do my
you got to do your work.
And we learn that as kids, right? You can tell Isaiah Carter, like, you want this? Make sure your room clean. Make sure that's a partnership, right? So, so
do you feel like this generation of hoopers are spoiled, or they just have a lapsed, you know, entitlement, you know, to what they should be getting and, you know, what they should be expecting, especially at younger ages?
I think that comes from, I think that some are spoiled. I wouldn't say all, but I think that comes from everything always being handled for you, right? Like, even all the way up to college, the league, you have an issue, there's always someone there to fix it. Yeah. Right? And I think even as a child, right? I think you know, I have a son now, he's 4, and everything, he's just started school. You know, everything, you know, you're doing something for them. So it starts all the way through birth, you know, like, you can't really take care of yourself, so I'm always taking care of you. I always got to get you ready for school. I do this and do that, right? I think it starts at home. And if, you know, parents could start releasing that, where I'm doing everything for you behavior at home and saying, okay, you're getting a little older now. You're going to have to do this on your own. You have to step up here on your own. Then it can be easier for coaches to kind of say, okay, I can give you some responsibility instead of you looking for me to fix everything that's wrong, right? It's just like, and I think you see so much more of that because the power has been given more to only the players.
Sure.
But, you know, like I said, it's a partnership, right? That's why this weekend was great listening to that, because it kind of just makes you think back to, like, okay, how can we work together as one instead of like, well, you know what, coach ain't doing this for me, I'm a transfer.
We're going to get into that.
Right.
The loyalty in kids and their
loyalty
and their partnerships is crazy.
Because I think, first of all, I think half of the business that is being done with kids and their parents with coaches, like, you don't even like the person you're trying to get into business with. Right? So you're just going there for the brand. Like, I was just like, I need this from it. Instead of saying, you know what, I like this person. I like who he is or she is off the floor as a person. It's authentic. Then it's kind of easier to stick around because it's like, I like you.
You have an actual relationship.
You know, people stay a little longer through some trauma if they really like you.
Unfortunately, child. Hello.
I knew that was going to touch a little different.
Hello.
We still talking about basketball?
That's life. That's the beauty about basketball, though. It just teaches you life. Right? People like you there, stick around a little longer. You know? So, even if you do some wrong, you know. So, you know, so, but, you know, that's what I'm saying. I think people are just getting into business with people they really know they don't like or have nothing in common with, but nothing they can agree on. And then when things don't, when they finally get everything they need, it's just like, well,
yeah, I'm out.
I didn't like that you did that. Well, I didn't like that you was gonna do that from the jump anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I already
what
knew.
Are we really doing? Yeah.
So it's just like trying to see how much you can get. It's really, I don't want to say this word, man. It's really whole behavior, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I'm sorry, excuse my language.
No,
it's
it
just,
is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
and it's just like that. That's just not a woman thing. That's man or woman.
Yeah.
Like that, the behavior is what it is.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you, because I've always heard about these camps, right? Like, but I never really fully understood kind of the purpose of them in a sense to where like, so they've come, and this one sounds like it was really great in a sense where they're getting a raw understanding of like the landscape. But what is the intention behind, like, if your kid is a top kid or trending towards being a top kid and you're wanting them to be invited to these camps, what is the goal behind them?
I think the goal behind it is bigger than basketball, right?
Okay.
Because even though we worked basketball, I think throughout the weekend, one thing I've observed is everyone learning how to build relationships. I think that's the point of these camps, is to have fun, compete, get better, still learn how to play basketball.
Sure.
But it's 2-3 days, right? How much basketball can we really give you, right? But hopefully we can leave you with an experience of how to continue to develop as a player, but also how to just live life. And I think it was just a great opportunity for everybody to get together, build relationships, friendships that'll last years, right? And just learn how to, like, even I've seen kids go up to people that would just open the door, talk to them.
Yeah.
Like
that's
random
great.
people.
Yeah,
like
that's awesome.
they were really big on, like Rich was really big on having everyone understand, talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Because you never know where down the road who's going to become what or who's going to become who. And just kind of get a feel for everyone, get a feel for the person opening the door, or the janitor, or whoever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I think just those life lessons were super important. So I don't know what goes on in other camps. I don't know if it's just basketball.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen certain camps before and it looked like just basketball, but it was great to see basketball on top of educating like young men and women on life.
Human
So,
experience.
you know what I'm saying? So that was great. And I think the people they hired, because I look at basketball like life itself, it all kind of matched everything. And then you think about Wallow and Gilly. They talk about that all the time. Right?
Yeah.
And you hear Rich talking about that.
Yeah.
And I feel that way. So it just felt like everyone was on the same page.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
That's
I love
important.
that.
One of the greatest, it's funny thinking about how those little lessons stick with you. When I was on the show, shout out to the great Miss Chip Fields. She was one of the directors who used to come direct. I was on the show on Nickelodeon for a while. And I will never forget, we were performers on the show. And so we'd, have audience there or whatnot. And we got on set one time, and naturally you're just kind of in the rhythm of what you're doing. So you're not thinking about it. And she was like, y'all come here. Y'all better speak to every single person when you walk in a room. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they're doing. They're making this show what you need it to be. They're giving you the energy to look good on this camera. And from that day forward, I never walked into a room in life and not at least try to acknowledge everyone I came in. And it does make a difference in the energy in the room.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you just never know, not even to gain anything, but you just never know who you might meet just in that. Heck, I might have just said, hey, you look great today. And that could have made someone's day. But I will never forget, like, she taught me many things, but that was one of those lessons that just really stuck with you. So it's really cool to hear, like, that's still
going on.
Yeah, no, I tell the boys all the time, appreciation goes a long way. When people know that you appreciate their behavior, they're giving you their time, people never forget that, so you've just got to be gracious. And to your point, you'd be surprised, how many door openers, janitors, they hold those jobs for decades. You know what I'm saying? So when you go back and you visit or you see them, they'll remember that all day, So it's important. I mean, but bringing it back just a little bit, because you're from the East Coast. You're from New York. Like, he's a true New Yorker, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Give me a little bit about what you've seen, the differences in East Coast hoopers and West Coast hoopers. And is there a clear, like, y'all do and we do, mentality? Because I feel like New York hoopers, East Coast hoopers, like, they got this grit in them that a lot of West Coast hoopers kind of be like,
I feel like that comes from, like, when you're in New York, everything feels like survival mode, right?
Yeah, it's a hustle.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's crowded. There's not a lot of access to a lot of things. So it's always some type of competition to see, there's always someone like, you got to really fight for what you need there. And then it gets cold. Right?
Yeah.
And then like there's less gym time.
Yeah.
There's less opportunities. Like as far as like I feel like in California, like there's AAU teams everywhere. There's gyms
Let me tell you
everywhere.
something. Yes.
Like
Oversaturated.
Yeah, because I feel like I can speak on it because I've lived here for 12 years now, right? So like there's always an AAU team. Yeah. Like there's so many. Yeah. I mean, I get there's a lot in New York too, but like I feel like when I was growing up, like obviously you have the really good ones out here and the really good ones in New York as well. But I feel like when I was growing up, like you had to be good to make the team.
Yes.
Right? Here it's like you can just get on the team.
Yeah. Participation trophies boil my blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough, Yeah. But I just feel like it's such a small city and it's tight and everyone's trying to get a chance or trying to make their way out. Where California is so spread out.
Yeah.
You go to Irvine, Bakersfield, Fresno. There's so much of California that it's just like,
it's hard to be too mad when it's 80 degrees all year long.
Yeah, by the beach.
By the beach, it's good weather. But I would say, I'm not comparing, because to me, grit alone doesn't make you a good player, and skill alone doesn't. I think both have to come together.
Yeah.
But I think kids here, to me, they always say people from New York can't shoot and people here can shoot. I always feel like people in California have way more help. There's way more access. There's way more gyms. There's way more coaches. Everybody coaches here. Everyone's a coach.
For worse.
Right, true story.
Yeah,
Trainer,
right? So
yes,
it's just like
the whole
everybody
thing.
trains, everybody coaches. There's just so much help.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Right? I feel like, my son's 4. I gave him a coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
cannot
right?
dash. I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just so much more access to things. And I think sometimes that could just be taken for granted. Like, in New York City, if we saw an NBA player or someone of status, we're like pumped.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? We excited. We want to, we want to talk smack. We want to admire you and compete with you at the same time. Because it's like, at first I want to ask for your help, and then at the same time I know I might never see you again. So can we compete right now?
Yeah.
But then it's like in California, it's just like you see them so often.
Child, you'll see Kevin Durant riding on the boardwalk down there.
Yeah,
they
like,
just
hey,
be like,
bro.
oh, yeah, they do not care. Like the kids do not care.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever.
But they're also rocking the same shoes that athletes have. So they got the same phone, same gear, watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Car.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know that they have as much to necessarily like look up to, right?
No, for
Because
sure.
a lot of them are still kind of or already living this lifestyle.
Yeah, especially
Just
now
crazy.
with NIL involved.
Yeah.
And all the money involved.
Do you think does that translate to the inner city kids though here in LA? Because I think a lot of times when we're talking about it, we are thinking about a lot of these kids who are on the peripheral, right? Like the valleys and all that type of stuff, who do have a lot more access, right?
Yeah.
But where I grew up in Compton and like all that area, I don't know if they might, but I don't know if those kids actually do have the same level of access to.
And I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've met kids from down in that side before that have certain toughness to them.
Yeah.
But then the skill part
They don't have
is missing.
Yeah.
But then to the end of the day, when they enter a space, because where you're going to go play, you're not going to play in Compton, right? So when you leave to go play in your tournaments and everybody's telling you to behave a certain type of way, or they try to take away what makes you you. And I see that a lot.
Yeah.
You always try to, right? And that's one thing. I never try to take away a kid's, like, fire.
Sure.
I might try to tell them to control it a certain way, right? But I never want to take that away from them. But I feel like sometimes that not being explained carefully can kind of like pull away from what a person edge might be.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then not having the access to have skill might just put you right back to square one with a person who's getting all the access to skills and all the different coaching and teaching and mentors or whatever. But, there's definitely a difference. And I think it's just, and now that you said that, for me, being in New York, because New York, the only place I've ever been in New York for me has always been inner city. Yeah, but I also do believe like nowadays there's so much knowledge online.
Yeah.
On the internet. If you have a little bit of internet on the phone,
Yeah.
like you can literally
right. Teach yourself.
Teach yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of the best players are kids that kind of naturally have a feel for the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just
like a good basketball IQ.
Yeah, they just got a great feel. Like obviously you've been seeing this trend of late where a lot of, because before it used to be a lot of inner city kids making it out.
Right.
That's one thing I've realized in the past, right?
Right.
But now, like I said, because of opportunity, resources, there's a lot more ex-players, kids making it more than ever.
Yes.
Like I've been watching that and I was like, wow, this is a whole
in a minute,
new...
that's what the league is gonna be. Just
all ex-players,
that's
kids.
what I'm watching and I'm just like, wow, look at this. This is different.
I'm gonna pivot for a second. How do you feel about Cayenne? Like watching, I feel like of the that age group superstars and the kids that are coming in from him, he seems to have that natural gift and feel for the game and plays it in a way that I feel like I can see it continuing to grow and translate as he gets to each level.
Cayenne is Carmelo Anthony and Lala Anthony's son. He's at Syracuse, so
I love
BT
him,
Dub. That's what
man.
we're talking about.
I love him. I had a chance to work with him out in Peach Jam for a little bit with Paul George. He came, worked out. We had a good workout. We stayed in contact. And then Melo had sent him out here in the beginning of the summer or the middle of the summer. Okay. And he spent like 5 days with me.
Nice.
And before he took off to Syracuse. And he has a balance of both. This is what I love about him, right? Because he has inner city in him. You hear him talk, the way he moves.
Yeah.
But his pops is a straight, you know what I'm saying? Mellow, real one. You know what I'm saying? He has that grit.
Which is good.
You know what I'm saying? He has that grit. Like, I think you were there recording one of the videos.
Karina,
right? And it was just like, he talking smack, he competing. He don't care, man. Yeah. And then he has his dad was always big on just keeping everything simple and just feel for the game. And he got that. He got that. Obviously, he doesn't have his size and physicality right now.
Yeah.
I think as he gets stronger, that's gonna come. But he can shoot the ball really well. He's very competitive.
He's special.
He wants to learn.
Yeah. I love that. That's important.
And that's huge.
That's important. Kids don't realize that.
The minute you stop wanting to learn,
it's a wrap.
You might as well wrap it up. I was watching someone talked about a video on Instagram the other day, and he was talking about when him and Steph Curry were like in high school. He was ranked 10th in the country. Steph wasn't really even on the rankings, and he just talked about as they went older and older. How he fell off and Steph went on. And I think, I don't know why that happened to him, but it just shows that if you stop learning, if you stop growing, if you stop figuring out how to continue to grow, you're done.
Yeah.
So that's why I always tell young guys when we was at the camp, one of the things that Kevin, KD, talked to me about, I remember one day we were sitting down and he said to me, as long as I ask these 3 things of myself every day before I work out. And I was like, what is that, Kev? He was like, be coachable.
Yep.
Work hard.
Yep.
And listen. Right? Because he said he's working hard, being consistent in how I work, be coachable, right? That's people being able to talk to me, being able to show me where I can get better, right? I have to be able to hear that.
You talk a little bit about the reversal of talent, right? Yeah. So do you think, as a lot of kids look to be invited to these top 100 camps, it's such an important, for them, it's an important milestone, right?
Yeah,
this
sure.
exclusivity, you didn't get invited, you did. And we had a recent guest on here, Todd, and he had mentioned you don't want to be ranked top 100 or top, the top kid in 8th grade and then be trash
plateau.
Plateau, or you know what I mean? And as a senior in high school and in college.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that, like continuous development. As you know, like again, talent doesn't just do it, grit doesn't just do it. This ability to continue to teach yourself and want to learn.
Yeah, I mean, to the end of the day, everyone loves being rewarded, right? Everyone wants to grow, everyone wants to get better. But I think the process is way more important. And you've heard this a ton of times from probably different people all over the world, right? Like the process. And the reason why, because when the goal happens, that's where you see most people take a step back and they kind of get comfortable, right? So I've been reading this book called Atomic Habits. And
I read that book.
Yeah, it's a great book,
good.
right?
It's really
and it kind of teaches you like how to continue to grow as a person, an athlete, in your relationship, in your life. And it's just about creating a system, creating your routine, and I think finding edges, right? That's the competitive side. I always talk to guys about that and girls about that, about just don't get caught up so much in the end, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
The end,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you get so caught up in the end of things, I think that's where you see some players plateau. Like if their goal is to be, I want to be number one kid in the country in 8th grade, you got there. Now what? How do you keep it? Right? But you keep it with the things you do in the middle, right? So I think a lot of times once the end comes, they just, I just want to live in the middle. I don't really have an end.
Yeah.
I think my end is when I leave this planet.
Yeah.
So, so I don't have an end. So people always ask me, what's your end goal? I never answer that question.
That's real.
I don't have an end goal. I have
a
process and a
continuation.
continuation.
Yeah.
So, so don't, you could, I get it where you want to see yourself in a couple of years and you have little milestones you want to reach, but I don't have an end goal.
Yeah.
That's
So for me, I always try to talk to young players about that, because that's how you get burnt out. That's, you feel like you've made it, then it stops. But, everything starts over at every level, right? Like you finish, like you look at school, right? Kindergarten, preschool or whatever, then you go to middle school, then you got to go to high school, then you go to, and every school you go to, you start over. Right? You're a freshman again. Right? If you go to the league, you're a rookie. That's basically a freshman. Again. Right? You retire, and then you're like the new one coming in, right? So it's just, no matter what, there's going to be an again start for you, right? So it's just, understanding like learning goes on. And I think, be happy with your process. Of course, enjoy it. Enjoy your little milestones as you go. But I think for the kids that plateau, I think setting the goal sometimes kind of like stops the journey, right? And I think the journey is more important, and that allows the goals to keep happening. You just gotta understand what creates the goals for you.
Like what motivates you to
keep going. I think
Yeah.
sometimes when they don't know what create the goals for them, then that's where you see these roadblocks and these stops, and you see guys who are like, well, you used to be nice. I could tell, man, how many kids I know that used to be good.
Used to be nice, yeah.
But you gotta have a real obsession and love.
Do you feel like a lot of that is also parents? Like how much is the parents pushing them to have, whatever those goals might be, and that becomes a thing, or themselves putting, that level of pressure?
I mean, everybody can't go, and that's one thing I've learned to accept.
Yeah.
Everybody can't go. So even if their parents is pushing them or they're pushing themselves, and as a parent, right, why not push your kid?
Sure.
Right? I think we push school.
Yeah.
Right? We push everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't get mad at people for pushing sports.
Okay.
Right? Because I just feel like we push so many things in life regardless. But I do think it comes a point where the kid has to make the decision, like, is this what I want to do with the rest of my life? What do I love?
Right.
And I think when they get to that point, you just got to be okay with accepting what destination or what road they want to take.
Yeah.
But to the end of the day, we push everything.
That's fair.
Right? I mean, when she had the boys when they was young, I didn't like that she had them playing soccer, this, that, third.
Yeah.
I always thought they should just hoop.
Yeah.
Right? But she made them do a lot of stuff. But then it was their choice to say, now I want to hoop.
This is what I want to do.
See what I'm saying? So it gets to a point anyway.
They make a choice.
They got to make a choice, right? But to the end of the day, you're going to make sure they stay active, they're involved in different things, show them different things about the world, different sports, and they have a chance to choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the choice to choose is always fair, right? But, you know, to the end of the day, I don't see nothing wrong with pushing it, but they have to make that choice at some point.
You talked a little bit about like your journey, right? Being in the middle. You have come over an injury that was a pretty significant injury that sets you back, mindsets, you know, physicality.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, I told you when you walked in, like, you know, one of the boys had a major injury and to get over it mentally has been a struggle for us. And I say us because as a parent, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about like that journey and what you would tell an athlete.
Man, first of all, I've lived my whole life without one. So getting one at the age of 37, 36.
All right, we'll just keep that out. We're going to cut that age out. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm old.
Which means I'm
young
older.
OG, man. It was like for the first time, like when I jumped and I land, I was like, a lot of things flashed in my head. I heard it popped. I'm like, damn, can't work. Thought about money, everything you could possibly think about.
Yeah, you got a baby, like, it's a
son,
lot. Yeah,
all
exactly.
these things go through your head because now you're like, man, how I'm going to get through this?
Yeah.
So it all rushes your brain at once. And, you know, just getting in the ambulance, they get me to calm down. I think it's important to have a super supportive group. So I had a lot of people that just kept believing in me, kept talking to me, kept telling me you was going to be good, you was going to be all right. Shout out to my man, Randy. He called me every single day.
That's awesome.
He's one of Kevin's best friends. He called me every day.
That's awesome.
You know, and always checked on me, always. And I think that's huge in a recovery process, knowing that people care and people still want to see you do well. I think that helps with your confidence. So, you know, as much as you can, any athlete, your son, just constant, like, man, we can't wait to see you back out there. Like, you know what I mean? So that alone reassures him that there's still a place in this world for him. I think that's huge. And
that's good.
I like when I got injured, I remember flying back. First of all, I had so many people that set me up with great doctors and great help. I was shocked. I was like, wow, I did not even know that many people cared about me.
You didn't know your
Oh,
impact
that's
at that
dope.
point.
Right? So it was
that's
good.
dope.
It was finally like, it was like, wow, too. Like, it was like, okay, I got a lot of love in a world that doesn't give a lot. So you know, you got to appreciate the love you have.
Absolutely.
Right? Don't take it for granted. So, and then it was like funny because like going through the airport, things like that, people was letting me skip the line. They started.
You're like, I like this.
Yeah,
I can get used to this. All right.
You know, so they made it very fun for me. Like they started flying me first class all the time.
You're like, come on, Perk.
I was like, man, this is nice.
Come on, knee
right?
brace.
They want to give me the bed so I could keep my legs straight. And I remember getting back home and I was like, man, how am I gonna do this? And I straight off the plane. And that's what I would encourage them to do. Just stay around the game.
Sure.
Like, stay around the game. I remember getting straight off the plane, teaching the camp of kids at Sports Academy, some guys that came over from China, on crutches. Like, I was literally on crutches, one leg. I'm hopping into the gym. And, like, I still watch those videos to this day. And I was like, damn, I really was out here, no matter what, still around the game. Like, one leg, I'm watching film. And I think for me, it allowed me to really tap into other things about myself. And it really allowed me to start using my brain more than anything. So now I was just like, okay, like, if your body feel this way, you got to be really good at giving information or really good at teaching. It took my teaching to another level. And then, like, I remember Jaylen Brown called me, and I was like, and he knew I got hurt, and he was like, man, we're getting ready for the playoffs. This was through the championship run.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Damn.
Right,
Right.
so
Talk
that's
about
why-
timing.
Yeah,
That's
right. So he's
insane.
just like, yo, we got to work.
Yeah.
This is through the championship run. And I remember him, I was like, man, I got one leg, Jay. He said, it's all good. We'll put you first class. Bring your guys with you.
Go ahead,
and
Jay.
I think
he's from Oakland.
Man,
he represents Oakland.
Right? He's from Atlanta, but he
I know. I had to clean that up a little bit. I was like, you know what I'm saying? He does a lot for Oakland. How about that? We'll put that way.
No, but he's been so great for me and so great to me and my team. And just seeing that guys still wanted me around, that helped a lot. So I went back out there with him. And we worked out. He allowed me to bring a staff with me.
Nice.
And that's when, for me, my business even changed, right? So now I'm like, I'm not traveling without a staff.
Period.
So now going forward, now I'm not hurt no more, but I'm still not traveling without a staff. So it allowed me to kind of tap into other things, right? So the injury, you look at it as really bad, but you don't realize, if you don't sit back and realize the other things is opening up for you, you kind of get lost in the injury. So I was able to see that it opened up another side of my business where now I can take my staff. And then when the guys got to see the work with the staff and so they already experienced me by themselves. So now when you see the work with me and my staff, you had a chance to compare, like, wait, I think I like it when you come with your group.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, let's bring the group.
Yeah.
And that took off from there. And, Kev and Chet, and there was a lot of guys that summer. I remember one of my good friends, Mike G, he's a physical strength and conditioning, strength genius. He is a genius. That dude is amazing. But even him, they would write me on IG like, man, you the GOAT. You out there on one leg teaching, huh? And, just seeing all the love and people not giving up on you.
Yeah.
And then it just showed me that I could, build my brand out and build my business out in different ways. So I think a lot came from that. So what I would say to young players is look at where else you can be better.
There you go.
Instead of looking at just the injury.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get back to your physical, but look at where else you can be better, because it's definitely a chance to tap in and strengthen other areas.
I love that.
Right? So you could go strengthen your mind. You could go strengthen whatever you're doing, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because now it's a chance to slow down and actually see what's happening. Because one thing I know about being physically gifted and having just that youthful athleticism, it takes away from your thinking, right? That's why as we get older as people, it's just normal for us to be wiser.
Yeah.
Right? It's just normal.
Slow down.
It's because you had to slow down.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with an injury.
Yeah.
It's just, if you take your time and just actually just start tapping into different areas, you'll be able to slow down and say, okay, well, I could become a better shooter. This is time for me to work on my flow, on my form, or let me get my left hand together, or whatever part is injured, go tap in on the other side. And I think, you got to look at it from that perspective. It's a chance to get better. And I know sometimes we have this feeling of this fear of missing out.
Yeah.
But you're really not missing out, man. You're growing, and, just take your time, get healthy, and you'll be back out there.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
amazing.
sure.
Make lemonade.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you
for
go.
real.
So because you have trained with so many youth and professional players that we watch all the time, whatever, and we hear about the it factor, is that, one, a real thing? And then two, how do you identify that with the players that you're working with?
You could just tell, man. Some guys just take the game serious, right? There's an obsession about it. Like, not too many people really have that it.
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah, no,
some
for
guys
real.
are searching for it,
Yeah.
but they don't have it. Like, it's a certain level of focus you see in a player. Because, to the end of the day, you want to have fun. You're having fun, but then there's that switch. Like, I see it. Like, I see it in certain guys. I see it in, like,
You saw the
best
switch
guys.
in them? Like, where you're like, ooh, it just turned on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
know, like, because I could laugh with Kev all I want, we could talk about things, but then there's a switch.
Yeah.
Right.
I've
You're
seen
like,
it in
no.
D before, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I was
no.
coaching,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the times I really saw it, because, like, me and him was always really, like, friends, cool, da-da-da. And I think one practice, I never shared this story. One practice, right? Like, because it's my first time working on a team. He brought me along. And one practice, we were supposed to teach a defensive coverage.
Yeah.
And I messed up on the coverage. And he looked at me like, and he ain't never did this to me before. Because I'm like, what?
Wait a minute.
Right? So he looked at me and he was like, how we supposed to teach them shit if you don't know the shit?
And you're like,
And I think from that day, like, like it raised the level of focus in me, right? Because like you only gotta do shit to me like one time, like you don't gotta do it too much, right? So like I'm you know what I mean? Yeah. So once he did that, I saw, because I was looking at my job as like, well, I'm only supposed to do this. This ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
and I think that's where people mess up, when you just look at only your job instead of looking at like, I need to know what her job is,
right. Every
her
position.
job is, your job, because you never know when that role might need to be filled, and how can you move up if you don't know nothing else?
Exactly.
So that's what I've learned from him, and that's having a level of focus and readiness to be able to take on anything that's sent to you.
Absolutely.
And a lot of players don't have that, and I see that. There some guys are just like, yeah, well, I only shoot this, so I ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, I only do this. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Well, my job is to catch and shoot only, so I don't care about what you do in the pick and roll. That ain't got nothing
and that's
to do,
when you know
right?
you're like, well, yeah.
Like,
So you it's a certain, and I watch guys sometimes to just walk through the gym like you'll see Kevin work out and they just walk out. That's what I'm talking about. The whole, it's just like you're living in a space where so much is presented to you, you don't even care. Like I would watch kids walk past, and I remember last year too, we had runs, and I would be like, we got Chet, Trae Young, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley.
Kids
KD,
are just walking and
and
chilling.
they're just walking and say, well, I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm like, do you know how much these tickets cost?
Correct.
If you sat courtside?
Correct.
Yeah.
These same guys?
Correct. Like,
And it's
what?
free.
Yeah.
Soak it in.
And it's just like, and I was just like, wow. I finally understood, like, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to force it, Some people, and that's why you hear some people say sometimes either you have it or you don't, right? And I know, rest in peace, Kobe, he always used to say, like, man, figure it out.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Find that shit.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's also like, are you willing as a coach to go that deep for someone that wouldn't even go that deep for themselves?
That's real.
So I'm willing to go figure it out with you if you're willing to really figure it out.
Yeah.
And like we can figure out your mental, your physical, whatever it is that you need to figure out, but it starts with you. And I always tell people this because I had a guy one time told me, he's like, man, I could fix your shot. And
He told you that?
Yeah. He told me right way back. He's like, I could fix your shot for you. And I was like, you can't. He's like, I'm telling you, this. I said, you're showing me technique right now, but you cannot fix my shot. He said, how you telling me? I'm telling you, I did. So you can't fix my shot. He says, why? I said, because the first step of fixing my shot is I have to show up for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fix my shot.
Yeah, I have to want to. That's why I'm telling you, you can't fix anything I don't want fixed.
Hello. Yeah.
And I was just trying to show him this because everyone thinks they can do something for a player, but they don't realize it starts with the player wanting to do something for themselves.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to fix your shot, how can I fix it?
What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be in the gym.
He's gonna be in here, talking.
He's
Yeah, exactly.
Soon.
Right.
Like, he's never gonna show up.
Yeah.
So I should just be like, bro, he's never showing up.
Yeah.
So that's the it. The it is wanting to show up, wanting to be better, wanting to learn everything, wanting to know the game as a whole. Like people used to always look at me like, you just do ball handling. Then I said, nah. My brother used to try to keep me in this box and was like, you should do ball handling, da-da-da. That got me into the door.
Sure.
But I was like, I don't want to just be there in the door. I want to be all around this place.
Yeah.
Right? So then I started learning X's and O's. That's why I went work with D, so I could understand all the concepts and spacing and 2-9 and help and all. Coach T, she did all the defense for D. And I went and sat with her.
Coach T, yeah.
Right? So I learned all her schemes defensively. So I was like, I got to learn everything people do defensively, so I could know what to do offensively. Then I went and talked to Coach Fred. And D used to tell me, go talk to them. And as much as I felt like I knew a lot of skill stuff, when I went to them, I went empty.
That's important,
That's
though,
important,
right? Yeah,
right?
humble. You go to people
you gotta
humble.
go to people empty.
Don't come to people thinking you know
Know it all.
everything.
No.
Just chill, man.
That's how you stop learning.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you know it.
Yeah.
I always called it mental reps. Because I had a young kid. He would every time I tell him something, he'd be like, yeah, come over here like this. I'd be like, all right, never mind. Because it's like, right? Because it's like you're trying to help him. And I said to him, do you know how to shoot? He says, yeah, right? Because why? You shoot every day. So why don't you stop shooting if you know how to shoot? Because I'm trying to keep it, right? So you shoot every day. It's the same concept. If you know how to come off the screen and I'm telling you how to come off it again and she's telling, it's more reps.
Right.
That's how you keep it.
Right.
So just because you know it, that don't mean you should. Like, I was like, why don't we do that with everything else?
Everything in life. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I was just trying to explain to him. I was like, you have to do that with everything else.
Yeah.
So even if I know, like, this is black, she keeps telling me it's black, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a rep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rep. That's a rep. But we only do that with shooting, dribbling, but we don't do that with our brains. And I just look at guys like, well, if you look at all the best players in the world, they're all the smartest guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And a lot of their stuff is essentially boring.
It is boring.
Yeah, you talk about repetitive
yeah.
and it's consistent. And a lot of kids just want to walk in. They hate repetitive. They don't like fundamental.
No.
They don't want to work on the basics. They want to come in and do dribble, and I call it dancing. They want to dance at the top of the key. And it's like, but you're not going to do that in the game.
Right.
Promise
Let's be real. Yeah,
you are not spending
it's about
3
5
minutes.
players that do that in the game, and we get mad about it every time.
All the time. So let's, but it's unfortunate that kids are missing out on just the, making their fundamental foundation so solid that it's unrefutable.
It's also nuance. I think people miss the fact that there's nuance to it, right? And that's kind of like what ends up happening with KD and his arguments with people online, right? Like, I've watched the game of basketball since I could walk and dribble. I know the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I know it really, really well. I'm a student of the game. I will never know what it's like to play on an NBA court and win a championship and everything that it took in that season. I don't know what happened in that locker room. I don't know those conversations with the teammates. I don't know whatever, right? So if he is telling me this thing with a nuance that's different, then I can understand, because as an outsider looking in, I only have one perspective of it because I only know so much of the game. Then I can take something away from what he has to offer me, because I understand that he's giving it from a totally different perspective, totally different, like, you know what I mean? And a lived experience that I don't have. And I do think it comes with, one, they just have a lot of access and they think they know. 2, entitlement. They just feel like, well, because I've studied or because I do this, whatever, I should just be able to say whatever. And it's like, nah, dude, like, with anything in life, like, listen, she can cook, right? And I'm learning how to cook. And I might make my pasta this way, but because her mama that one time taught her this thing, because in their country they did it this different way, let me try that out, because now I might have learned a different technique to how I can do this and improve my meal. You know what I mean? And I think we're not open-minded enough to understand that, like, some of the education is in the nuance, and that's some stuff that you can only get from certain people.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I've always taught the game back from the player perspective. I remember I said to JB one time, I can't remember what the conversation was, but I remember telling him, I get it from you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching you. I said, you don't know yourself. You don't need to watch you more, because I
You're
watch
the
you a lot.
problem.
Right? And he started laughing, and I was just like, because to be honest, if you want to know about the game, you got to watch the players, man, and, like, be around them.
Yeah.
And it's hard to watch from afar.
Yes.
Right? And I've always tell people this, and they always try to argue. I'm like, you're arguing with people that, like you said, experience all the different nuances, right? From the coaches, the locker room, teammates, all these different things that play a part. And you're just creating whatever you want to create. It's just hard to, like, make an opinion from so far.
From so far away.
And that's why I never do it.
Yeah.
Like, I get guys all the time, they're right online, like, oh, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Why is he doing this move from here? But you don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, drills is drills, but information is where it's at. Yeah. So it's just like, until you hear what we're saying,
and the full picture, right? The full. That's my problem. I'm always
me,
like,
that's why I wouldn't even look. Now I'm at the point, and I've always been like this. Like, if I don't have nothing good to say, I'm just not gonna say anything at all.
Fundamental truths.
Dash. You know what I'm saying? Liar. I love this man to death. He has known my kids since they were babies. Let me tell y'all how harsh this man is. He's got tough. Like,
no, but I mean, like, good to say to like people from afar.
Oh, okay.
Right. From afar.
Maybe.
Like, if I'm not going to advance the conversation, then what am I doing?
I'm going to have something bad to say to your kids because I see what they're doing right in my face, right? But I love them boys. They're my dogs. But no, like, people from afar, when they're just, like, making an opinion, right? And they don't know the story.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, if you don't got nothing good to say, just don't say anything.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're so far away.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know the day-to-day. You don't know
Yeah.
what,
You're
you
far
know, it's just
removed.
like, why are you even saying anything?
Yeah, I know.
You're like
keyboard cowboys.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They always got,
so far. But you can tap into what you was about to say.
Oh, yeah, no, because I was definitely about to do a hard pivot into like, let's talk about this real quick, this mental toughness.
Because it is a thing, right? Like we have had this conversation before about coaches and trainers who are dealing with youth and where the fine line is between pushing, toughness, all of that, and how you speak to my motherfucking kid, right? So, and I've told this many a times, like I've had me will approach grown ass men like, you have me all the way effed up if you think I'm going to allow you to talk to my kid behind a game.
Yeah.
Push him, tell him what he needs to do, all that type of stuff. But there's a line for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So and it's not to coddle him, because I understand though that he still needs to be able to deal, listen, people don't say far worse to him, especially if he advances in his career. But I do think it's a responsibility as the adults handling these kids to remember that they are kids.
Yeah.
And if I don't speak to my kid that way, then I'm not giving the permission to a stranger to speak to my kid that way.
100%.
And knowing your personnel is important, because there's certain kids who can take that 100%, right?
Yeah.
Like there's certain kids that you can be like, and they're good and the parents cool, whatever. Then there's certain kids that like, that's not how you connect to them. That's not how you're going to get through to them.
For sure.
And I don't know that a lot of the coaches, particularly in the really weird space that we are in AAU and all that type of stuff anyway, have the skill set to understand their personnel enough to know how to reach their kids appropriately.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I will say, I mean, I've known Dash, and he does tough love yelling. There are kids where I think he knows that can handle it, and then other kids where he's like, oh, I'm about to get into your ass, Mr. Postman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And parents, and oftentimes parents too, although some may or may not know their kids, I do feel like some parents are like, thank you.
Right.
Tell them thank you, because I can't talk to them like that, or I would not. And then other parents, like we've had conversations where I'll be like, so they're 5. You know what I mean? So, he used to have them doing these push-ups with the ball and stuff. And I'm a tough love. Like, I'm like, nah, we gonna work, right? But I used to, but I also used to turn the corner and laugh a little bit and be like, this man's about to break these kids.
Because, like, G had days, right, where she would like, get on them.
Yeah.
And then some days she'd be like she just said, they're 5. But then like, because, like the twins, man, I used to really like, because I think for me, I was in a place where I'm just like, I'm going to show everybody I'm really good. So I kind of pushed that too. But like, I also wanted a certain audience of clients. I wanted to have an audience of clients that were serious and passionate about the game as I was. And I think for a long time, people like, some people be like, oh, you too hard on them, you too this, you too that. I think I've learned as I went along. And parents sometimes would tell me like, yo, you can push them, get on them. Then when I start doing it, they're like, all right, maybe you're doing it too much, right? So I was like, okay, but I think I found my own balance as I continue to grow. And I was able to like see, like you said earlier, like who could take what, who can't, how you could talk to certain people. And one thing I've learned is when people feel like you care about them,
they'll
take
let
a lot.
You. Yeah, they'll take a lot.
Yeah.
So like I think once I started showing guys that like, man, I care.
Yeah.
And like I actually want this for you. So just that explanation too early on in the relationship is like important for players, right? Just letting them know. Like even for some of the older guys, like I remember one time PG was telling this young kid that I worked with, like, that yell at me too.
Yeah.
So he looking like, P, you let Paul George, how you let that yell at you? So it was just like, just starting to understand guys. Even like times when I talk to Jaylen Brown, I'd be like, yo, stop fucking around. Like, let's sharpen up. We got to be sharp. Yeah. But like, they know it's coming from a place of
love.
Because I want to see them do well. Right? I want to see them grow. I want to see them be successful. But also knowing how to give them their confidence. I think I learned that as I got older, how to give people their confidence.
Yeah.
Because when you're on someone a lot, it almost makes them feel like they suck.
Correct.
And it's a very interesting place to be. Because you're hiring me to make you feel good and get you better. So making you feel the opposite is kind of weird, right? So once I started learning that, I started learning how to have little conversations in between where I was like, hey, you're one of the greatest players in the world. It's only 25 All-Stars, bro. You one of them. Or I work with a young guy like Johnny Juzang, and we'll bump heads and we'll talk, and I'll be like, hey, bro, you're so much better than a lot of guys. And him just hearing that, be like, okay.
Yeah.
So
Right,
because
let's go.
you can make him feel a way about something they're doing, and they be like, I can't do this. Hey, no. But you're one of the best to ever do this.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of guys having this opportunity.
Yeah.
But let's get back to it now.
Yeah.
So just to let them reassure them, everyone needs it, from kids to adults, right?
I love that.
And that's how you get them to push harder for you, right? Because now they know, like, okay, I am good. Because it's an insecure place to be.
Yeah.
Working on yourself is very insecure. Like even
and it's
like
lonely.
and it's lonely, right? It's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's why I love basketball, because it teaches you so much about life. Because when I be thinking about how I'm stripping you down and I'm seeing you for you, and you're like, because I feel like that when I talk about certain things about my own self, like, and I'm like, damn, now you could use that against me. Because think about it, right? In basketball, if we know you can't go left and we're trying to fix a left and everybody see it, they like, well, let's use that against him, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in life. It's just like when it's such a tough place to be in, but it's just important to just reassure them and let them know, even though you can't do this, you're still so great. So now imagine with this, right? So it's just.
Dash, I'm so proud of you.
You're so awesome.
When I learned that, it was definitely a change.
But it's important.
Yes,
like,
I know.
If you are a parent and you are considering putting your kid in the hands of somebody, the trust factor is so major because they trust you, right?
Yes.
They know that your heart is in the right place. And I think that is what the issue is. I don't trust most of these dudes because I know that their intentions aren't in the right place. My kid is just another kid in a number for them, not a person that they're trying to develop, right? So you're talking to them in a way to break them down, because in this moment you feeling big and bad, and not in a, hey, get your shit together, but also I'm going to show you how to get it together because you have enough to be good, great. That's a very different thing than just berating somebody.
Sure.
That's a different place. And some people and some parents, you'll never be able to get through, right? Because some parents just don't know basketball. They don't know the process. This business is very tricky, you know. Everybody always trying to get somebody. Look, my goal isn't to obtain as many clients as possible. That's never been my goal. I think my goal has always been to enjoy the journey and just be able to, like, make others better. Yeah. Right? So it's never been like, and money just came with it. Yeah. Right? So it's just, I've never chased the numbers side of it. Right? And a lot of guys do that. They just chase the number side. So that's why they undercut. They do this. They tell you this. Like, I've never been about that. I just love the game. And people going to be able to feel that. Yep. The ones that love it, they going to feel that. And then you guys could be able to do things together, you know? I got a kid, Varro. He plays for Notre Dame. I used to always tell him sometimes in the mornings, because I'll be busy throughout the season with guys. I'm flying on the road. He works with some of our other guys in the morning. And I said, I'm going to get you up to Proactive a couple times this summer. You work with the other guys. I said, but do your part. And he was like, okay. And because at one point he was just like, well, you're not there.
Right, so kind of,
So he felt like, you know,
lackadaisical about it.
I said, Varro, you still got to show up for yourself. Yeah. And he started coming every day. And then he started making these major leaps. And I was like, bro. So I started calling him a lot on the phone. And I said, you know why I'm calling you? He's like, nah. I was like, because you're starting to do well. I said, it sounds fucked up, right? And I say, but this is the world we live in. Yeah. The better you do, them phones going to be ringing.
The more attention. Yeah, exactly.
That's just what it is, bro. And that's just what I'm trying to show you. Yeah. Right? So he saw that and he was like, okay, I get what you're saying. I was like, bro, that's just how this life works, bro. You don't do well, this phone don't ring. Right? Period. That's just how it's going to work for you. But now, me personally, I care about you as a person. So if you ever call me well or not, I'm going to answer you. Yeah. But I'm just letting you know, this is the world, what it's look like. Yeah. So that's why I said, that's the things that started becoming more important to me outside of just collecting my money. But it was just like, these are the things that has to be done. And if you do it the right way, money comes. It's just going to come with it. And people's going to respect the work. They're going to respect the fee, the price, whatever it is, because they could honor what you're doing. Because I get more satisfaction out of saying, man, look how many other guys we've helped. And one thing I take pride in doing, and all my staff, the guys that I work with, notice, I hate when guys train pros differently from kids. It's like my biggest pet peeve. And a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Right? And any kids that worked out with me before and been around me and been in the gym when I'm in the gym, I'm on 100. I give them the same energy I would give Kevin or anyone else, because I take pride in that, because we're here for basketball, not the name.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's always helped me, just being here for the game itself and whatever it brings to people, right?
Yeah.
But like, I've never been someone that like get in the gym and we're like, all right, well, we're working this kid out.
Right.
Like, now all of a
So
sudden,
anyway,
let's just get
he's on his
lazy.
phone the whole time.
Yeah, now we're on the phone.
Right.
So guys
Yeah.
know, like my guys on my staff, I see them pick up the phone, I'll be like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And any parent that knows me, that's been around me, anyone, she's seen me when young, they could vouch. There's not in 12 years have I ever trained a kid different from I've trained a pro.
Yeah. That's
Same
important.
work, same attention, same. I'm treating you the way,
Win.
because
Yeah.
the goal is to get you to be one of
Right.
us.
Hello?
Yeah.
So why?
Why would I
Like, 'cause
treat you different?
I'm not calling no names, but I've heard people think, man, work out, boom, he just leave us by the cones. But when he's with the NBA guys, he's
He be
all
going to
over
work.
it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like that.
like, damn,
Like,
yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
that. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's all about making the place, the world better. That's how I look at the game. Because like I keep saying, it reminds me of life so much. Because if it's all about pushing the generation, the future,
Yeah.
like why would we do it that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I've always treated those kids with that kind of attention and love. And it's funny because like when we left the camp, I thought at New Balance, I was so like on these guys. James was like, man, you're on these kids. I tried to do his voice.
James Worthy.
Right, James Worthy voice.
That's awesome.
And he was just like, and you know, for a minute, I could see like the kids kind of like, man, he's like a coach for real. Like,
a little
but then
hesitation.
as we get closer to the end of the camp, so many of them came up to me like, man, can I get your number?
Yeah.
Man, can I get your Instagram? I thought I ran them away, but they actually was like, man, like I see that you care
Yeah.
about
Right,
me
right,
getting
right.
better.
Yeah.
You know, and I was, I was reached out to a lot of them like, man, if you ever need me, call, talk,
That's
whatever,
awesome.
just hit me, reach me. So it's good. It's good to just, be able to like understand what your purpose is and make it just bigger than just collecting your check.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love
I love
that.
that.
And we're
So
very
dope.
proud of you. Like we're of the generation
proud.
that still understands community, and what you're doing is continuing to foster community around these kids
Yeah.
to help give
Develop
them
it.
opportunity to be
Yeah.
maximize whatever they end up being. Because whether they make it to the NBA or not, the skill sets that you're teaching
sure.
Or
them,
You
lifelong
can
they're
use
gonna
it.
succeed
lessons.
in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
For
they,
sure.
you might be training the next sneaker executive or the next
You-
whatever. You know
man.
what I
For
mean?
real.
Like,
Yeah, Rich Paul.
Man,
Like,
Yeah,
who
for
knows?
real,
hello?
like he's bro.
Hello?
Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about it, man. It's just like he's giving me a chance to like see those things. I love Rich.
That's awesome.
I
know
love
a lot
that.
of
Shout out to
agents
Rich
will
Paul.
probably see this
Right.
and be like, "Hey, Rich, you my guy, man. I love Rich."
You got me, I got you.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly.
And it's not even like, and Rich, no, bro. Like one thing I've always talked to like people about when it comes to stuff like this is like I don't work with agencies, Excel, CAA, Clutch, people from every different agency. And I think my trust with those people has always come with, I've never tried to push a player to another agency.
Mm.
I've never pushed a player. I never allowed an agent to talk to another kid. And they know I'm so grounded when it comes to they wouldn't even come ask me. no shit like
Yeah,
that.
they know better.
They, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Dash, you think you? They wouldn't even ask me. No shit.
Yeah.
Like even like Rich be like, man, like if you was with us, I don't care what you do. You could go train over here. He don't care. Like a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I like Rich, because everybody thinks he's trying to like, because agencies are scared of other
They're
agencies,
terrified,
right? They
yeah.
like, oh, he gonna take our player.
Yeah.
He don't care about none of that. He's
Yeah.
not trying to take any one player. I'm not trying to take it.
Yeah.
I got one goal, and I'm really big on staying in your lane.
I know that's
When
right.
I tell you I stay in my lane like no other, don't talk to me about no brand deal. Don't talk to me about no agency.
I know
Like,
that's
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love Rich because I love Rich as a person.
Yeah.
Like, and I love what he stands for. This is not me sponsoring Clutch.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
This is me sponsoring and standing on something a human stands
Sure.
for.
Right.
Authentic.
Right? Authentic. Exactly. So, you know what I mean? It ain't got nothing to do with none of the other stuff. I don't care about that. I stay in my
Yeah.
lane. I'm here to teach basketball.
That's it.
Right? So when people bring like other issues, I'd be like, can we just talk about
Can we get
basketball?
focused? Yeah, get back
like,
into our lane,
let's
bro.
get back to like, if you need somebody for that, there's therapists, there's other people.
Mad people,
You don't
son.
get me wrong. Like if somebody's going through a real issue
Yeah.
in life and they like, hey, I need to talk to you. Fine, I'll speak to you. I'm always here to be an ear, to listen and see if I could guide you in the right direction. But when it comes to your business, your brand, I just don't involve myself in that. That's not my space.
I
love that. I love that.
I mean, part of being successful is knowing what what your
job
thing
is.
is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what my job
exactly.
is.
And that's what he's developed. He's developed a
Exactly.
great lane. He stays in it. But what's most important is that he knows his lane. Like he's so
Exactly.
knowledgeable about hoop and people and basketball IQ. Like
In life,
yeah, that's why he's been around 12 years. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people be around the kids like that. You know what I'm
For sure,
saying?
for sure,
Like
for
that.
sure,
So,
for sure.
but before we go,
Yes.
we wrap it up. We normally do a rapid fire.
Yes.
Okay.
So, not the cheesing already. No,
I'm
it'll
trying
be
to
easy.
see
It'll
what
be
this
easy.
is. Okay.
It's well,
All right,
yeah.
So before we get to those questions, all right. So first and foremost, we like for people to state their claim. So we want to know what your favorite in the various sports leagues, if you follow any other leagues outside of NBA.
Okay.
Okay. So do you MLB? Do you baseball?
No.
Do you NFL?
No.
Do you have a
NBA.
non-biased favorite NBA player of all time?
I love Michael Jordan.
Fair.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
a good one.
Like
Yeah.
that's my favorite player.
Yeah,
ever.
absolutely.
Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Okay. I just feel like Mike embodies all the movements of a great player. Right? He has great movements, and his movements. And I'm not talking numbers. I'm not here to discuss who's better than who and numbers. I don't
Yeah.
care about none of that. It's none of my business. What I care about is he had such great movement patterns that was too early for his generation and still is being used in this one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man,
Wild.
like the fadeaway, the way it looked, he embodied like flair and flash
Butter.
and style. And,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Smooth as shit.
It's so
Yeah.
smooth. It looks clean. Like
Yeah.
there's other players like Ice Gervin who had some shit, but like Mike had it on the floor
Yeah.
from the way he shot, from the way he wears clothes,
Yeah.
from the way he laid
Yeah,
the ball.
charisma.
He had it
Yeah.
on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Like one time he dunked the ball and the way he landed on the ground and hopped around on one foot, I was like, nah.
Just swagging for no reason.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
Hop around
He's so
that cool.
extra.
He's
I
just
love
hopping
it.
and it look
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, I remember showing Kev the video and I said, Kev, look how he landed
Like what?
with aura.
Right, exactly.
Just
It's
swag.
charisma.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Swag,
yeah,
bro.
it's fancy,
Okay.
very
That's
fancy.
fair. I like
was
that.
real Mike.
Do you have a favorite NBA team then?
No.
No.
When Kobe was here,
Uh-huh.
the Lakers was my favorite team.
Okay.
I just love Kobe.
Okay.
Because he was just Mike all over again for
Sure,
me. And I
yeah.
just like Bulls
Totally
and
fair.
Lakers.
Yeah.
That was it. I just, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it was.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Do
Yeah.
you have a favorite player of this younger generation, like that? That's
Like
kind
coming
of
up?
like the ones that are in the league that are coming up that are like, whether it's on that shy, losing
Anthony
Minnesota,
Edwards,
all, like any of that age group that are kind of becoming the next guys
Generation.
now that our age group is close to
Yeah,
retirement.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I love Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really
You
like
believe
him.
in him still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I love Jalen Green.
Okay.
I actually just left him on the way to you guys.
Okay.
Oh, really?
He's
He
just
put
in the
that
gym.
work in.
Yeah, he's
All right.
putting
He's
it
in
right.
Phoenix now, right?
Yeah, he's in Phoenix.
Okay.
I love him, man, because I think, because for me, like if it was just from the outside and not knowing anyone, obviously I love Ant. I think SGA is amazing. All the young players are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think the league, it's gonna be
It's
good.
in good
It's gonna be
hands,
good. It's gonna
man.
be good. It's gonna be
Yeah,
in
these
good
boys
hands.
are, yeah.
Still got Jason Tatum here.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's young. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, Jalen Brown is still kind of young.
Yeah.
Like,
Devin
we got
Booker's
some
young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys
Book
are
is
young.
young.
You
This
know what I
league's
mean?
in good hands.
Sometimes they be in the league for so long, but we
I
forget the
forget.
age they come
Yeah.
in at.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like
Right.
Book came in at like 17,
Yeah.
18. Yeah,
You know what
young
I'm
buck.
saying?
Forget.
Luca's
Yeah.
probably
Luka's
25
young
now.
as
Yeah,
shit.
he's young as
And he
hell.
feels
He
like he's
just
been
turned
around
25.
forever.
Right? So
Got
it's
an
just
old
like,
soul, but
exactly. But there's so many young talent
That's
here.
real.
I'm just excited to just watch it keep going forward. But I guess I'm not trying to be biased, but I think I love Jalen because I'm just like, man, he is at a place in his life where I've seen him make growth and change
Okay.
as a person.
Okay.
And I think that's the biggest step in moving forward into being great. You
Good.
have to change your normal ways off the court, that kind of helps impact it on the court.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching him want to take those steps, and I'm proud of him for that. So I'm excited to see where he goes. And he's young, man.
He's a baby.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's like
I'm rooting
22,
for him.
23. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, he's younger than a lot of the guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I saw a list the other day of youngest guys to get to 6,000 points, and he was in it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn.
Right, like,
I look at you. I see you.
Okay, Jay. Yeah.
So you know, so like
That's dope.
I love that. I love that about, you know, his growth off the court and where his mind is right now.
What about female player?
Oh, I really like Paige.
She cold.
I
What?
like Paige.
Solid.
Cold.
That,
I like Paige.
that girl
And
is balling.
Yes, I like Paige, and I also like Kiki
Yeah.
from Washington.
Yeah, she
I'm being a
bossy.
little biased because Kiki was someone that I've worked with since the 10th grade.
Okay.
No way.
Yes. So
Yeah,
when
dope.
we was coaching on the Sparks, I was training Kiki.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay.
That's
Right?
small world.
So,
Yeah.
right? So I remember going into like the gym, the arena, and like telling Fish and Coach T, like, yo, you gotta see this girl, Kiki.
Yeah.
So I'm showing them videos of her dunking and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I promise you, she could play in the league
cold.
right
Right
now.
now, yeah.
Right?
Good.
If they were letting girls go out of high school, if the money was, it's all these
Yeah.
different factors. But I'm like, she could play in the league
She's
right
dope.
now.
Yeah.
So then one day I had her worked out with Candace, and she bumped Candace hard. Also, remember you asked me about the it factor?
Yeah.
This is when I know Kiki had it.
Okay.
So her and Candace is in the gym. They're working out. She gave Candace, I don't know if Candace remember the story, but she gave Candace a little bump.
Yeah.
And Candace was just trying to demonstrate a move to her. But she gave her a little bump. And Candace, the bump was a little extra.
Yeah.
And Ken looked at her like,
Girl.
don't let me turn up on you.
Right.
Right? But even though like Kiki had that like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
right? But like she still like was like, okay.
She's
cool.
still
Like,
fearless,
I-
though.
And
Yeah.
for her bump, I was like,
I
like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
I
she
got
got
it.
it.
So then when I saw that, it's funny because her agent Allison now, she was in the gym around then too. I used to bring Shanae, NECA. They all saw her back then. And then she ended up going to Stanford.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it just kept being like,
Yeah.
it was just like one circle was
full
happening
circle,
in front of
yeah.
us. And I was just watching it. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then I kept having WNBA players around her. Then I had Brittany Sykes around her, Ray Burrell. I started bringing her around all the W girls at an early age. So she was like already working out with WNBA players, right? And then she already had like that attitude to her. I would watch her compete against Brittany Sykes. That's her teammate.
Yeah.
At
She was
least,
like, I don't
know
give
if they're
a
still
fuck. Yeah.
teammates. I don't know if she got traded or not, but I saw that was her teammate.
Yeah.
Right, in Washington,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, Allison that was in the gym became her agent. Candace was interviewing her around her draft process. And just like everyone that
full
was
circle
in the
moment.
gym with her, she was with them again.
Yeah.
That's
Still
cool.
surrounded by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
dope.
you
super
know what I'm
cool.
saying?
A
So,
full circle moment.
She was definitely a person I saw that had that it.
She's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, and she
She's
just
really dope.
franchise record and rebounds recently
Go
for a
Kiki.
rookie.
I know. I was gonna
yeah.
say,
What,
all right,
what,
go
what y'all be doing?
Ah,
Go
clock
Kiki.
Shout out Chloe.
We love that.
Yeah, that's
okay,
dope.
so do you have a favorite NYC playground memory?
Man, yeah.
Oh.
Dykeman.
Okay.
Okay.
I was at Dykeman one year, and that's when KD was on his stretch. He was like going everywhere. I think he had like 60 or 70 at Rucker. I missed that one. And then he was pulling up to play at Dykeman. And me and my brother, like at that time, my brother was hooping, and we like, man, we gotta go to Dykeman to see him. And and to see it in person, like he's out here going crazy. And I remember him walking up, and all these security around him, and he's getting ready to walk into the park. And my brother was like, I told my brother, I was like, yo, don't act like no groupie, bro. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we hoopers too. We
Keep
just
it
here,
together.
we just here for basketball. We just want to like see what he do that makes him him. We not here for none of that other stuff. I remember telling him that. You know what I mean? Because I remember saying, you can't be no fan of no dude you about to end up playing against in a couple years. That's always been my mindset, right? But we can respect his game and show up, right? So we was there for the respect.
Fair enough.
And to show up.
And
Yeah,
show
that's
up,
it.
right? So we watching whatever. He goes in, he doing his thing, he killing, we boom, boom, boom. And it's a great memory for me because 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when I actually got a chance to work with him, I was like, I was like, bro, this is crazy that I'm working with you right now.
Yeah.
He said, what you mean? I was like, bro, you walked right past me at at Dykeman Park when I was like younger. And I was with my brother. We came to watch you play. He's like, for real? I was like, bro, I can't make this up. You just had 70, I think, at Rucker. And the next day you was at Dykeman ready to hoop.
Yeah.
And I was standing right there. Like, I was like here and you was like walking right past me. And I'm looking up like he's tall. And I was just like, this is so crazy that like now we're in the same gym, like working together, sweating, bumping, talking basketball.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a great moment.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
I love that too. Yeah, no, I love that. I didn't know that either.
Okay, so where can the people find you on IG? You have YouTube. What we got going on? So
Dashletics, you got to break it down.
Yeah, Dashletics. It's my Instagram. It's also my YouTube and my TikTok.
There we go.
I love he was looking at Karina. He was like, am I?
She's in charge of that.
He was like, is that right?
Is that right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's DASHLETICS.
Yes.
Boom.
Dashletics.
Dashletics. Yeah, there you go.
Come on.
There you go.
Y'all make sure.
I love it. Yes. Not that you did it.
Yo,
I'm not gonna lie. I started because my son used to do this as a baby. Like more,
yes.
Right? But then like I would watch the these young kids at the camp, bro. They just kept doing this.
Oh,
and I was just
TikTok, all
like,
the
what are you
things.
doing? So I just started doing
it. You're like,
it was
what?
just funny.
Yes, fuck it.
So I don't know where it came
man.
from.
Right.
But I watch the kids do it. I was like, bro, this is too funny.
think it's the
but
funniest
obviously I
thing.
know it's a girl thing, but even the boys.
I mean, no, boys do
boys
too.
do. Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yes. Yes. Out there. Clock that. Yeah.
That's crazy. Not with your tongue out though, right?
No. The boys can't do it with the tongue out.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Taking it too far.
You know,
I love
it's
that.
a universal, like,
Yeah, it's a universal
we're giving you
thing.
a respect. Okay, you get the thing. Like,
should boys do it like this?
I think I see boys more
Or
so do
like-
it.
'cause
Like,
this
if they're
is-
making fun of girls, then they'll be like,
Clock that. Yeah, they do more hand motions.
Because they'll make fun of us.
I'm
for
just
sure.
trying to figure out
Yeah.
But
who
normally
should do
I will
what.
see them kind of just more so be like,
More like,
But even kind of
okay.
like, you know,
yeah,
like
or
a
like
quick,
a
like,
little smooth, boop, boop, boop.
okay.
They're not
Yeah.
gonna be like this, like we are.
or
'Cause
like
we're
girls are like, clock it.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot.
That's a little extra. I got you. I just want to make sure who's doing it, how they doing it, right?
You're like, don't be out here getting real crazy in the streets.
Looking
Yeah,
crazy, trying to
exactly.
talk about some clock.
Talk that. Right, exactly. Clock it with one finger.
Right? That's
Oh,
funny.
that's too much. No,
Thank
but we
you
appreciate
for the work
you.
that you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you for
appreciate
being
it.
amazing.
Yes,
I
thank
hope that
you.
your journey just continues to blossom and grow, and you continue to impact people the way that you are.
Yes, beyond the game. We appreciate
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
life
Jen.
coach, like, we got you.
Yeah.
Like, we've
Love you,
always,
love you.
we love you
All
too,
day,
dude.
every
And I
day.
You
appreciate
my
you.
sis, for real, for
I
real.
know. We've been through some
She
shit.
all right.
Yeah, I had a lot of conversations. And I
We've
used to
had
call
some.
G.
Yeah.
I used to call, yo, G, I don't know, man.
Yeah, right.
I
Got
used
into
to-
some
I was-
bullshit.
yeah, I
Let me
used to
tell
call
you
her.
what happened.
Now I call Karina. Sorry,
Yeah,
Karina.
hell yeah. No, I love that.
It's all love.
Let me tell.
Yeah. So,
I need y'all to put this in the chat.
Yeah, legit. Y'all need to figure this
Yeah,
out.
like, it's so
Oh, man,
funny,
I
yo.
love that.
I
No,
had
for
to
real.
figure out
Karina's
which
the
one I'm
best.
doing. I was
Yeah,
like,
this
'cause
one,
I
the
ain't
way
doing
you're doing
this
it.
one.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
doing
The way
this
you're
one.
doing it is
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
put
I
a
like
little
it.
Simple.
Yeah, it's an
yeah.
emoji. Just
No, I'm
clock
not
it.
knocking anybody, right?
No, yeah.
For how you want to do yours.
Hey.
I just want to do mine like this.
This is how I'm gonna do it.
It's
I
how
don't
I'm
care how
doing it.
everybody else does it. I'm hell of extra with it because I'm really like making fun of my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. She
Yeah.
taught us not that long ago.
She
We were
did,
like,
yeah.
right. So now we're
Now
cool.
we know.
Yeah, now we know.
That's funny.
But thank you guys for tuning in to
Yes.
another episode of Sports Scene. That's Gloria. I'm Erica. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, clock it, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Till next
sir.
time.